Morning, Facebook. Hello, it is wonderful to be with you. I'm Sheila Maria. I am a psychic medium, and I hope wherever you are that you are safe and you are well. So I have taken a week off work, holiday, and I have been connecting with all my guides, and this morning we are going to be receiving some readings from Mother Mary. So if you're there, let me know that you are here, because I'm sure I'm going to have time to pull some cards, but I'm always going to choose the people that are at that they're at the beginning. So what I'd like to do first of all is just go over what it is we will be talking about this morning. And the subject is new beginnings. So I am also going to be talking about the past lives that you don't want to know about. I am going to talk about soul contracts. I am going to talk about the one psychic ability that you must develop to fulfill your path on earth. Okay, so that is what we will be talking about to begin with. So first of all, I'm actually going to bring Mother Mary in. So what this means for those of you that are new to my work is that I will be going into a light trance, and I will be allowing Mother Mary to speak through me. Once I've done that, I will start to cover the information that I said I would cover. I'll probably end the YouTube stream then, because I don't want to bore you all to death. And for those of you that are joining me on Facebook, if you're live, I will pull you some cards at that point. So I'm very, very happy to do this for you. I absolutely love my work. And it is just wonderful to be able to bring through messages that assist people. So the topic today is new beginnings. And what we're going to do is we're just going to see what Mother wants to say. I think I'm just going to stick a cushion behind me. So, of course, we've had the strawberry moon. We have got the Mercury retrograde as well. So there is lots of planetary activity about. I don't really want to go into that because astrology isn't my thing. But what I am going to do is I am going to say, if you're an empath, you might be feeling out of sorts at the moment, because I've seen a lot of empaths that are very fearful and very emotional at the minute. So, you know, if that is the place that you're in, just please know that you're not alone, and understand that there is all sorts of energy flying about, that just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not affecting you, and it doesn't mean that what you're feeling is actually yours. So if you are very sensitive and that is something that's affected you, then just know it is the energy of the collective. Okay, I'm now going to bring Mother Mary in, and then we will go through those subjects. And then if you're still here, I will be looking at pulling some cards. I'm just going to bob over to Facebook. Good morning, Jane. How are you, my darling? Lovely to have you with me. Okay, let's move into this. How are you today? How are you feeling? Are you feeling heavy? Are you feeling fearful? Perhaps you're feeling tired. So the solstice, wherever you are in the world, fills you with light. And just as the sunlight shining through a window in your home highlights the dirt and the dust and the debris, so too does the light find all the places within you that are ready to be healed. And so understand that many of you have been dealing with circumstances that have drained you for very long. And at a higher level, you are ready, truly desiring a new beginning now. And in order for these new beginnings to come, you must allow the past. You must allow the passing of what has been to go. Some of you find this difficult. You worry that if you let go, you will lose people from your lives that you love very much. And it has been said to many of you that love never dies, that when somebody leaves your life, the bond of love remains. And yet there is a human fear that somehow this loss will be too much to bear. But we will say that those things in your life which are done have already left. And what you are feeling, my dears, is the physical presence of the friendship or the interaction or the circumstance without there being any great meaning contained within. So perhaps there is a friendship, or perhaps there is a part of your life that you have been invested in for a very long time. And perhaps now it is taking its toll. And because you don't feel that the other parties would be open to the routine changing, you carry on, and it becomes a toiling, a burden. It becomes wearying. And in truth, you are just going through the motions because it is easier than saying out loud, this for now is done. And so the more you carry on putting yourself in situations, putting your energy into situations that no longer have any emotional or energetic connection for you, you will find that your new beginnings are harder to find and slower to begin. And so with this light filling you on the solstice, I am encouraging each of you to accept the newness of your path. I myself went through this when my beloved son died. And although I could see him and hear him within my heart and through my spiritual sight, the physical yearning of his presence was incredibly painful, as it would be for any of you. And yet, the day after my son died, the real resurrection was the awareness within me that a new path had begun, if you like, my own ministry. And so, although there was the great pain of loss, there was a new endeavor that I had committed to, and this endeavor would lend greater value to the sacrifice that my beautiful son made. And so I say to each of you, brave souls that are upon the earth at this time, aware of the light and yet feeling the pain within, it is the new endeavors that you allow yourself to make, even though you are affected by the pain of the old, that will give greater meaning to what has gone and what has left. Don't deny yourself the chance of real happiness. Don't deny yourself the opportunity of new love. Don't hold back on trying something that you've longed to do just because of what has gone and what is done. Allow the pain to spur you on, to remind you just how sacred life and love is. And even though you may still be fearful about how your life will look several weeks and several months from now, you must know this. You already decided in your wisdom before you were born how your life would go. So there is nothing that you can have, come or leave, that you knew that you would not want or need. There is nothing that can happen to you or around you that is too much for you to bear. And in your wisdom, because many of you are on the last legs of your earthly stays, you have wanted to finish with a bang. You have wanted to experience greater heights of love, greater heights of light. You have wanted to shift the old beliefs that have plagued you for hundreds and millions of years. When you get to the finish line, you wish to be jubilant and triumphant about the race that you've already won. And so I say to each of you, my brave, courageous angels, fear not that which is done. Step forward into that which is to come. You wrote it, you designed it, and you, my beloved, are the star of this particular play. I love each and every one of you completely and adorably, and I want you to feel exactly the same about yourself and the life you have yet to live. I love you. Okay, so that was good morning. Good morning. My guides are here. So we have several of my guides. And it is just wonderful. They're giving me like all these cuddles. It's just so wonderful to have them here with me. So I am going to go over these topics. Morning, Keone. Morning, Jeanette. I hope you're really well. Are you well? So the first topic we're going to talk about is the past lives you don't want to hear about that are affecting you now. So I was reading a brilliant book, and I will recommend this book at some point. It's fantastic, and it's talking about some past lives where people had been in very upsetting circumstances, and in some way their present situations are because of the karmic ramifications of those circumstances. So I actually want to share one of the past lives that I had. Well, in fact, there were two. Just bear with me. I'm just making sure we are all plugged in. Just give me a moment. There we are. We are now. So one of my past lives, I was a woman called Alicia. And as this Victorian woman called Alicia, I was a socialite. And I started attending the spiritualist movement. Unbeknownst to my husband and children, we were also members of the Catholic Church. And this was in Cornwall. And as a result of being a spiritualist and conducting seances, my husband and children disowned me. And I ran away, and I had a love affair with the lady who taught me. I wouldn't have expected that. But anyway, and there was this theme in my lives about running away. And the interesting thing is, at certain points in my life, I have wanted to run away. And, it's an urge. You've probably heard of the fight or flight response. It's very, very strong at times. And one of the things that I had to overcome in this life was the urge to run away. Because in that urge to run away, what I was actually manifesting was more situations that caused me to want to run in the future. So I want to say to you, the past lives that you don't want to hear about, so not the ones when you were a high priestess, and not the ones where you were, star-crossed lovers with a prince, but the ones perhaps where you murdered somebody, or the ones perhaps when you were crippled, or the ones perhaps when you were very, very lonely. All of those past lives are affecting you now, and it is something which I can tell you is life-changing when you go into those to change those. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the soul contracts you haven't called in because you're tired. So I'm not a fan of orienteering, where you walk for miles and miles and miles and you have checkpoints along the way. I've never done it, never intend to. But your life plan was created in this way. And there are certain checkpoints when your life is supposed to change. Now, if you look back over your life, there is bound to be some places where you can see that your life changed. You wrote those, and they're not something you will change. And what's happening for a lot of you is that you're coming up to those points when your life is going to hit a checkpoint and it is going to change. Now, this might be something that has already happened to you very recently or is about to happen. And you've also got the 7-year thing, but this is different to that. So, things that can happen. Hi, Kina. Much love and abundance to you too. So things that can happen are, a divorce, a lottery win, a pregnancy, you emigrate, all these sorts of things. But what's important to know about these things is that you wrote these before you were born. So you really need to be aware that there are certain things that are going to come up. There is nothing you can do about them. And a lot of the things are wonderful. You wouldn't want to do anything about them. But what happens is that there is a new set of soulmates at each of those turning points that is waiting to come in. So, for example, I've been divorced twice. I'm very, very happily married now to my Mr. Right. And in fact, we are going to be renewing our vows very, very soon. But I had to go through those divorces, 2 custody battles, and a stint in a refuge. I had to start again and again, and more than that, in order for me to meet him. So my soul contract with him could not come in until I'd been through that. So this is the main message today. If you are lonely, if you are feeling trapped, if you are trying your best in circumstances that are taking huge chunks out of your soul, there is a point when you will have to let go. And either, in my experience, you will be made to let go, or you will come to a place when you know it's time to let go because you wrote it. Remember, you are your higher self. But what I want to guarantee all of you, every single one of you, whatever it is, whether it's, a lottery win, or you inherit a large, country house, or whether it is you fall pregnant with triplets, I hope not, whatever it is, okay, because you can say it's good, you could say it's bad, it's what you wrote for yourself. There will be new friends. There will be new levels of commitment. There will be There can be new children. I've got 2 sets of children that are exactly 9 months apart, and they're exactly to the day 10 years apart as well. There can be new families where perhaps you didn't believe you would ever have any more children. There are lots and lots of wonderful soulmates that will come into your life, and you have got no idea about it from where you are right now. So the message here from myself and the gang is, don't give up. Let go of what is done. And even if you don't see what can replace it, stop putting in as much effort to anything that tires you out. If something is supposed to stay in your life, it's going to stay without all of that effort. If it isn't supposed to stay in your life, none of that effort will make any difference. I remember being in a relationship for nearly 10 years that made me as miserable at the beginning as it did at the end. And my guide said, all you're doing is missing the love that's awaiting. So I knew that I could stay for another 10 years and I would not be any happier. And that was enough to make me leave. And as a result, I've met my wonderful husband. So I want to encourage all of you to remember, you wrote your life before you were born, and you have included highs as well as lows. All right. And the message today is about new beginnings. There are lots of new beginnings coming. I believe that everybody that watches this has got better times ahead. I'm not somebody that I'm going to tell you about relationship splits and I'm going to tell you about ill health. That ain't me. I'm seeing new relationships, new pregnancies. I'm seeing success. I'm seeing new jobs. I'm seeing new levels of commitment. I'm seeing grandchildren. I'm seeing holiday homes being bought. There's a lottery win for one of you. It's not necessarily a huge one. New beginnings. Have the courage to let go of the old. And you don't literally have to, put your current spouse on eBay. It's just let go. Just don't put so much energy in. Okay. The other 2 subjects I'm quickly going to talk about. If you enjoy this, please would you like, share and subscribe? It allows me to keep bringing you content. The one psychic ability that you must have to fulfill your path on earth, very simply, is clairsentience, which is a clear feeling. And I'm not talking about feeling your guides. I'm talking about knowing how you really feel as a soul about anything in your life. In other words, don't kid yourself. If you wrote within your life plan to meet your twin flame when you're 48, and you're struggling within a relationship now, and you're trying to convince yourself that you love this person, but you don't really, it's about the mortgage and it's about, the dog that you share. Have the courage to admit to yourself how you really feel, because if you don't, you're not going to meet your twin flame. Oh my God, I don't want you to miss that. So this is the one psychic ability, and you've all got it, to fulfill your path on earth. Know how you really feel about everything in your life, whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether it doesn't turn you on, whether you want to avoid that family member, whether you secretly you want your boss's job, whether you're secretly gay, whatever it is. You don't have to tell other people. Please have the courage to know how you really feel. Hi, Mary. I'm going to pull some cards in a minute. Maybe I will keep YouTube on. So I'm great. Thank you, Keone. Hey, Natika. Hey, Bobby. So the last thing we are going to talk about here is my new shamanic readings and healings, which help you with everything I have spoken about so far. So my website is in the process of being updated, so it's a bit higgledy-piggledy. I am offering new shamanic readings and healings, and basically what this is, I take you into a trance with the angels, so you're not working with anything dark, and we revisit these situations that you can't let go of, or you're scared to move on from, or you're worried that, you know, your other half's going to run off with, you know, the babysitter from down the lane, whatever it is. We give you a deep healing on those situations so that your true life path can unfold. And what we also do is we give you a reading at the same time. So it's a healing and a reading in one. And it can be used for anything. It can be used for your spiritual growth. It can be used for your marriage. It can be used for your career. It can be used for your relationship with your family. These shamanic healings are very, very powerful. I've got about 4 private clients that they have been having these with me for years, and they absolutely swear by them. They're also very, very high profile business women, and they've been telling me I should be offering these. So I'm letting you know, these will be up on my website very soon. So, and the price for the shamanic healing is going to be, I think it's going to be £77 for an hour. So I'm trying to keep it affordable for everybody. So Kina and Mary, let's pull a couple of cards for you, and then I'm going to end YouTube because I don't like these ones being too long. I'm also just going to do a couple of cards for anybody that catches this. Okay, so if you're listening to this, okay, that's the one that wants to come through. So Kina, for you, we have take charge. Leadership is required to manifest what you want in your life. Mary, we have perfect timing, divine timing ordained by the angels. It's never too late. Okay. So if you're joining me on YouTube, you can choose card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. Hello. So we've got Team Spirit as card number 1. Work together with your guides. This is about working with your guides. If you chose card number 2, the best is yet to be. The best is yet to be. And that is basically the message I'm giving everybody. The best is yet to come. I promise you. And number 3, if you chose card number 3, Heaven's Messages. Your loved ones in heaven want you to know they are safe. So if there's somebody that you are missing or that you are wanting to hear from, your loved ones are there. So again, I will pull a card for you, Sion, Lion from Sion. Eyes of love. Focus your eyes on loving actions and your lips on loving words. There you go. Beautiful. If you've enjoyed this, please would you like, share and subscribe? Every subscription really, really helps. And you can always get rid of me at some point in the future. I'm soon going to be putting up the money scopes and the astrological thingies for July, August. So watch out for those. For now, though, I'm going to wish you the biggest cuddle from me and Mother Mary and Orion and the team, Sapphire, Rose and all of them. We love you. We love you. We love you. Bye-bye for now. Bye, YouTube.